There's a specific feeling you get when you paste code into VS Code, hit run, and immediately see a wall of red text. You don't know what it means, you just know it's broke. So you do what you've always did. You select all that red, copy it, flip back to ChatGPT, paste it in, and wait. It comes back with a fix. You copy the fix, flip back to VS Code, paste it in, hit run again. More red text. This was not a bad workflow. I want to be clear about that. When I was building the baseball stats automation back in 2024, this was the only workflow, and it worked. It just took a while, and a lot of switching back and forth between windows, and occasionally you'd fix one thing and break two others in the process. In a minute, I'm going to show you exactly what that looked like. Live, a real prompt, and real errors. I'm doing this for a reason. Next week, I'll show you what that same process looks like with the tools that exist today, and I promise you the contrast is going to be worth it. Let's move to my screen share now. Okay, let's go ahead and try to, again, demonstrate how this old method used to work, where I would open up ChatGPT, put in a prompt, get some code spit out by ChatGPT, and then paste it into VS Code, where then I could run it. Let's go ahead and we're going to use just kind of a simple plot of break-even point for Social Security. By no means is this financial advice here, because we're just going to use a simple prompt and a simple line chart just to see how this works. So we're going to start by putting in our prompt. Let's say I want to build a Python script that calculates the Social Security break-even point between two different claiming ages. The user enters two ages they're considering claiming, for example, 62 and 67, along with the estimated monthly benefit for each age. The script calculates cumulative lifetime benefits for each option year by year, starting from the earlier claiming age, and then plots both lines on a chart. The chart should show the crossover point where the later claiming age catches up and passes the earlier one. Keep it simple, just a script I can run from the terminal. So now let's go ahead and we'll let it go, and let's see. Step one, it's creating a new Python file. And you can see, I mean, this is in real time, no editing. It already managed to pop out the script. You can see it's not too complicated of a script, but let's go ahead and we're going to copy the script in. Copy it, and then we're going to put it into VS Code. So let me switch screens here real quick. Now let's turn on VS Code. I'm going to create a new file. It'll be a Python file. And we're just going to paste that script in here to VS Code. And so there you go. It's been pasted. Now let's save this file. And we'll just call it breakeven. Breakeven. Now we're going to save it. All right. Now let's just go ahead and see what happens when we run it. Now, I don't have very many libraries or anything installed on the computer. This is a newer computer that I have, so we'll see if I'm even able to run it, or if it's going to tell us we need to install other things. So we've got it in terminal, and then we're going to click run. Oh, so it's already telling us stuff here. Sorry, I missed that. Okay, so you can see we tried to run it and we've already got some errors here. Let's see what this does. And this is exactly what I would do before. I'm like, okay, I've got an error. I don't know what to do. So we're going to copy that, or we're going to go back over to ChatGPT and we're going to say, I got this error. What do I do next? So now it's telling me, hey, it needs something, just like I kind of suspected. It's going to say, I need something in order to plot this. So we're going to copy that. We'll then go back over to VS Code. Where is our VS Code? All right, so now we're going back over to VS Code and we're going to hit paste that command it gave us. All right, now I believe it did what it was supposed to do, but you know what? I like to copy it, just make sure. So let's go back. We're going to copy that and say, all right, let's go back over to Chrome. Let's go back over to ChatGPT. Now we're going to paste that in and say, hey, is it all good now? Oh, so next up, create a virtual environment inside your project folder. Now it'll create my own virtual environment. Again, I really don't know what I really don't know what all these things do. That's what I love about this process is, okay, I'm not sure what any of this means, but I just let ChatGPT tell me what to do. So let's paste that in, and now we're going to create that virtual environment, which it just did. Okay, so now I think we're in good shape. Now let's go ahead and run it again. We're going to run without debugging. All right, now let's see what happened now. It seems like it got an error right away again. All right, let's copy that message. Matter of fact, let's make sure it got the local environment, since I didn't actually copy that the last time, so that way it knows. So we're going back over to ChatGPT. Now let's paste that message in and see what it says to do next. And see, you notice I didn't even prompt it. I didn't have to say, hey, this is what I did, or this is the error message. Just simply let it go and see what it tells me next. So now it's telling me next step, activate the virtual environment. Run this in the VS Code terminal. So now I've got to activate it. All right, so let's go ahead and copy that. Let's go back over to VS Code. And now we're going to paste that in. All right, now we're active. Now we've got our .venv, our environment. So now we should be able to run it again. So let's try. We're going to go run without debugging. All right, got another error message. What's wrong now? And we'll paste this back into ChatGPT. See what's wrong now. Now it's saying, hey, we don't have this matplot library installed. So hey, let's go ahead and do that next. So we minimize. And now we're going to go ahead and paste that in. Now keep in mind, when you do this, a lot of the stuff that you're we're okay with that message. Again, once you get a lot of these things installed, you'll go through this process once and then, you won't run into these errors again. But okay, great. It looks like we've done what we needed to do, but let's give it a double check. We're going to just throw this back over into, and I'm not too concerned about where it started, where it ended. Now let's go ahead and throw this back in and make sure that it has everything that it needs. Let's go back over to ChatGPT. I think it is installed. Is everything ready to run? So now it says, hey, great, you've got that installed correctly. Next step, run the script. So we are going to copy the command. We'll run it right in the terminal. And now it's going to run. You can see it's up. There we go. It looks like it's actually starting. Social Security break-even calculator. Enter the first claiming age. Let's say 62. Enter the estimated monthly benefit at age 62. We'll say $2,500 a month. I don't really know, to be honest with you. It says monthly benefit. It is monthly. So we'll say $2,500 monthly. Enter the second claiming age. We'll call it let's call it 67. That's where I needed to know what the monthly benefit would be if I claimed at 67. Hold that thought. I'm going to take a break real quick, and then I will come back over once I figure out what that amount should be at 67, just so we can make it at least somewhat realistic. I looked up the estimated benefit when you were 67 if you put in $2,500 at 62, and it's $3,571.43. So let's see what happens now. All right. So now it says enter final age to calculate through, such as 90 or 95. Let's go with 90. Boom. All right. And there's our screenshot, or there's our chart. So you can see claim at 62 is the blue line, claim at 67 is the orange, and then it shows the break-even point is around age 78. I'm guessing it's 77.96. So it looks like everything worked the way we wanted right out of the gate. We didn't have to change the code or make any adjustments. So that's pretty good. That's a great result. I mean, so we ended up having to spend a lot of time getting all the libraries installed and going back and forth, but the actual code that ChatGPT did on its very first try worked. Cumulative lifetime benefits. Okay, so it's doing a cumulative lifetime benefit. I'd rather see this in dollars. So let's see what happens if we come in here and say, okay, that worked correctly. Let's do that. Let's say that worked. Let's make the y-axis show in dollars. And let's see what happens. That's a pretty basic prompt. So, it's understood it. It says, all right, we're going to make the y-axis in dollars. And it wrote our new script. I think it is done. Yep, so it's all done. So now let's go ahead and we will copy this. We'll copy this script in. See what happens here. All right, so let's go over here. We'll make that change. We'll paste it. Again, if we were doing something more complicated and wanted to make sure we maintain revision control, there's all sorts of different things we could do here, but this is pretty straightforward, no great need. But there are times when I used to do this on a more complicated code, I'd get something that worked pretty much, and then I'd want to just make a minor tweak. I'd need to really make sure I do revision control, because sometimes it'll do something, it'll completely break it again. And sometimes you go back and forth, and it can be a pain. So, but for this one, we won't worry about it. We're just going to straight up copy it into there. We'll put the paste, and then we'll go ahead and run it again. Let me grab that run command again. So we're gonna run this again. We're gonna go with 62 as our claiming age, 2,500 monthly. Enter the claiming age. Second claiming age is 67, and then we're going to let me look that up again and see what that number was for 67. It was $3,571.43. We're going to go through 90. And there we go again. Perfect. So now it's showing us in dollars how much dollars cumulative we've earned over time. So this looks like a really good result. So here's my honest take on what you just watched. That demo ran about 13 minutes. A lot of that time was library installs and environment setup. Stuff that had nothing to do with the actual code. If you'd asked me in the moment, I would have told you it was frustrating. And it was. But here's what I want you to notice. The code itself. The Python script that ChatGPT wrote on the very first try worked. We didn't change a line of it. All that back and forth was set up, not the AI getting the answer wrong. That's an important distinction. What I do differently, set up the libraries before you start. Half that back and forth was environmental setup. I could have handled it in advance. Once those libraries are installed, they're installed. You only do it once. If I'd known that going in, the session would have been half as long. But here's the thing, that clunky workflow built real things. The baseball stats tool from episode 1 built exactly this way. Took longer than it should have. had weeks of tweaking after, but it ran and it kept running all season. Next week, I'm going to show you what this type of project looks like with the tools that exist right now. The AI doesn't sit in a separate window waiting for you to copy and paste. It lives inside your development environment. It reads your files. It writes pieces you didn't even think you wanted to ask for. That episode is going to make a lot more sense because you watched this one first. I'll see you next week.